Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and had a fun snow day last week. I thought I would give you an update on how my talk went from a couple weeks ago and then let you know what I have coming up. Talk went really, really well. It was good. I was, I think, over prepared, which is a good thing to do when you're nervous about giving a talk, is to just give it so many times, practice it so many times that you could pretty much do it, even if you completely have an out-of-body experience and blank out. And I didn't actually have that because once I saw the audience, I was like, oh, it was a super friendly audience. It was really good. It was probably about 120 people there. Um, and Talk went smoothly, and then the questions were all good. And I've given a version of this talk on gender disparities and in STEM fields so many times that I actually didn't get any super new questions. The only new question I got that actually was like, oh, I should have given a better answer to this one was from a woman who she said she identifies herself as a female geek, and she tries to do a lot of mentoring, and she's wondering if she should stop doing that. And I thought that was a really interesting question given the work that we do. And I told her, no, she shouldn't stop doing that. It's important for people to see women in tech, and but I realized that actually the answer I should have given her should have been that she should definitely still do it, but that there's other ways to connect with students who might not relate to the stereotype, and that if she can form those connections, then that can be a way to motivate people to go into STEM fields. But overall, it went really well. I had a nice dinner afterwards where I got to meet a lot of really wealthy Silicon Valley former executives and co-founders and things like that of different organizations, and they're all my age, but are on the Stanford board and have all these important jobs because they just were in the right time, did the right thing at the right time and made a ton of money early on. But didn't really get, other than that much out of the talk in terms of new connections or anything like that. So, but it was good, and I think people here, got to know the work, which is good. The other update I was going to give you is this is really cool, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg came to work last week on Monday. And we knew for a while that she was going to be here. She actually used to be a fellow here in the 1970s when she was a law professor, and she was here at Stanford to give a talk in the evening. And so she decided to stop by Casbis for lunch, the center that I'm at, and we all got to meet her. And actually, I got to ask her a question, which was really cool. I just asked her about how do we kind of get past this divide we have between Republicans and Democrats. And she talked a lot about her relationship with Scalia. And I'm going to show you a picture that I got. We took group pictures, so let's see if this works. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I think you can see it. So there's some of the fellows, and we got a picture with her. So anyway, that was really awesome. That was definitely one of the highlights of this year, to be able to see her and talk to her and get to ask her questions. She's super cool in person, just like she is not in person. So that was really exciting. And then this week I have to give another talk, actually. So on Wednesday I'm doing my seminar talk, which is not an open public talk like the last one was, but this one is a closed talk. Every fellow takes a turn giving a talk on their work. This talk, it's lower pressure because it's just the fellows and the director of the center who comes, but it's also a new talk for me because I'm going to be talking about the work that I'm doing this year and the paper that I've been working on. So I'm trying to make my way through those slides and that paper and that kind of stuff. So and then after that I get a break from talks. Actually, I will have a couple other talks, but they're not going to be as high pressured. They're mostly guest lectures and things like that. So anyway, hope everything there is going well, and that you have a good meeting. I'm actually going to be back in Seattle. Is it next week? Yeah, I think it's actually next week, end of next week. So Helena, if she hasn't talked to you already, is going to be talking to you about potentially doing next week's lab meeting at my house so that I get to see everybody. So I will look forward to hopefully seeing many of you then. Okay, have a good meeting. Bye.